Hi folks, welcome to Pepe Learning. Using this video, you are going to learn about one of the built-in functional interfaces named function. We know the definition of a functional interface. When an interface got one and only one abstract method along with any number of static and default methods, we can call it as a functional interface. Function is one of the core built-in functional interfaces. It got a method named apply. It will take a parameter and return a value. It is widely used in Stream API. As the name suggests, it applies the given functionality. This is one of the widely used functional interface. It is of a generic type. It means it takes the input parameters of a generic type as well as return type can be generic. Now let us see a program and review it again. I have opened an Eclipse workspace which got a project called Java 8. Now I'm going to create a class under a package named com.pepe.j8 for Java 8.fun.interfaces. I right click on this package, new, class, function demo. As this is a demo class, I choose main method. Now my class is ready. Now I would like to add one functional interface in the same source file. So I mentioned interface square root, which got a method called square it, which takes parameter as integer, number, and it returns a string value. Now my functional interface is ready and I would like to mention this as @functional interface so that I don't add any of the other abstract methods accidentally. I have created this interface first to see the traditional way of working, then I would like to show you the function interface, which is built-in functional interface, to show you the difference. Now I would like to use that one in the demo class, so I create a reference for square root, which is sqrt lambda, and I would like to provide implementation for it in the lambda expression. So here I have created bare minimum syntax. Now to implement this, we are going to implement for square it method. So the input parameter is integer. I keep it here as integer number, and in the body I would like to make implementation. The return type is string, so I provide return type as return, which is square root of a number is number multiplication with number, and I want to give a name as square root of number is. So I'm done with the statement. Now when I test this, I can say square root lambda dot, the method I can use it here is square it, and I would like to provide a number 7. So when I call this method square it, it's going to return me a string value. I'm capturing this string value to a variable called square value equal to. Now I would like to print this, so sysout square value. I save this. When I execute this, I right click on this, run as Java application. Now you can see the output as 7 into 7, which is 49. Square root of number is 49. Now for a moment, let us think this functional interface is not with us. So this functional interface is returning us string. How about it will return integer, or it would like to take the input as double? So it's not possible with this existing one. However, we are going to look after function interface, which is a built-in functional interface, and see how does it work. So I would like to write same piece of code using functional interface named function. So I write here function. You can see here the function is from java.util.function. I double click on this. Now you can see T and R, those are generic types. The first one is parameter. Here the parameter type is integer, so I take this as integer, and the return type is string, so I take this as string. Now I can mention the name of this lambda is fun lambda equal to, now I can use same piece of code here. So I copy paste of this piece of code here, and you see here there is no error. Ideally the input type is integer and the return type is string. Now I would like to access this one. For this I call it as fun lambda dot, the method we need to use is apply. So if you see here, apply is accepting integer because the type which is expecting is integer type. Here I would like to pass same value which is 7, and I would like to capture this information to a string variable named s value. So here when I try to print this s value, and here I have used wrong name here, so I'm changing it here. SQUARE is square value. I save it. Now I would like to execute this program. I right click on it, run as Java application. Now you can see the same output. The first one is using square root functional interface created by us, and the other one I'm using built-in functional interface. So ideally when you're using built-in functional interfaces, you need not to provide your own functional interface where you need to understand what is your input type and what is your return type, then you're good to go. If you observe, the input type is integer and the return type is string. So here, as these are generics, you can pass any type of input parameter and expect any type of return type. According to that, your functional interface will work. Now let us create another class called function dissect to see what is there inside a function. So I right click on the interfaces, new class function dissect, and choose public static void main, say finish. First let me explain you this functional interface named function without any of the generics. After that I'll show you with generics. So let me choose function. I'm not using generics here. So object function equal to new function. If you see here, this is a anonymous type, so I delete this generics. I keep the cursor to add unimplemented methods. Now you can see it got a method called apply, which is taking input parameter as object and return type is object. So this is how it looks if you don't use generics. Let me show you the same functional interface using generics. So I use function. This time I'm going to take integer and return type is string. So I say specific function equal to new function. So you can see here it's going to show us anonymous inner type. So I double click on this. Now it will ask me to implement the unimplemented method. I click on this. Now you can see the input parameter is integer, as you have mentioned integer, and the return type is null, ideally the return type of string. For any object it can be written as null. So this is how your functional interface looks internally. So to summarize, functional interface named function is one of the widely used functional interface. Let's talk about a couple of real-time scenarios. Let's say we can pass a company object and the return type we are expecting is a company name. Or we can pass a string and we accept the string to be written as in the uppercase. So like that, there are plenty of scenarios. You should be able to understand your use case to choose the right built-in functional interface. Thanks for watching.